Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Mental Toughness and Body Show. My name is Rob Evans, and I'm your weight loss coach, health strategist, and internationally published author, helping take your life, your business, your health and fitness, and best of all, your mindset from where you are to where it is that you want to be. And I feel so privileged today because we've got a very special guest with me. His name is Thomas Philbin-Malucelli. Hi, Thomas. How are you?
Hello, Rob. I'm great. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you. I feel honored to have you on the show. Now, I just want to give Thomas a bit of an introduction here. So Thomas is based up in Sydney, Australia, and Thomas is the global winner. I don't know whether I'm getting the title right here, but the global winner of the ISABody Challenge. Is it 2019 or 18?
2019.
2019. Yeah. Now, what this young man probably or may not know is that I have a photo of you on my ensuite mirror. And I've been talking through my podcast series about my personal journey this year through the ISABody Challenge. And I wanted to set myself up for success this year, starting before COVID and then pushing through COVID. And I thought, okay, I want to be surrounding myself with the right mindset. I thought, so who can I mirror that off? Okay, Thomas, he's won this before, Aussie guy. Let's post his picture up there. And I thought, okay, your abs are a good, a good image for me to be modeling myself off, even though you're 6'2" or something. Is that how
6'3", yeah.
6'3". So I'm 5'5", and so my muscles aren't quite the same size or length. But I used your picture along with Kerry and Natalie's being presented with their gold medal, but they're being part of my team. And I've got 16 photos that all inspire me around my ensuite. But you were unwittingly knowing that were a key part to driving me this year. So I thank you for that. And congratulations on everything that you've been able to achieve for your own health and fitness. And we're going to talk about your business and how that's going as well. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. I feel so privileged. Thank you.
And I guess it feels like so long ago now, doesn't it? But I wanted to ask you, first of all, let's talk about COVID, because how could you not have a conversation these days without talking about the impact of COVID? I'm just wondering, what have you learned about yourself during COVID?
My gosh, that is an amazing question. So COVID has been an incredible opportunity for me. So my background is hospitality. I used to work in hospitality, and last year I quit hospitality, but I still kept a DJing job. So I was still DJing on weekends, which was paying me rent every single week, and just for a couple of hours, and I was loving it. Obviously, when COVID hit, everything closed, restaurants and clubs, and so I lost part of my income, and to me that was a sign to literally just go all in into my online health and wellness business. And if COVID taught me to literally believe in myself and to take action now more than ever. So it was a great chance for me to really delve in and dive into my passions, which are all about helping people and empowering people with their mindset, with their health, and it's been amazing. So action, I would say, is what COVID taught me, and also how to adapt into I guess different circumstances.
Yeah, really, really well said. I'm going to follow that up before I ask you some other questions, but let's say that let's go back to the end of 2019, and it's the start of 2019. You've planned out your year for the end of 2019, so start of 2020. So you've planned out 2020, what you want that to look like. Okay, if you can step back there. Now, let's just say that you're at that point and you had the choice to either go through COVID, knowing what you do know now, and do COVID, or go down that less stressful path of maybe your other one. Which one would you choose now?
I would definitely choose COVID.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. COVID was incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a powerful question because there's a lot of pain in it. Like, I know it's different for you in Sydney, where we shut down for 7.5 months in total, which felt horrible. But what I've learned about myself and the opportunities that have presented themselves because of COVID that never otherwise would have existed. And I love how it really tests our resolve. really pushes us, challenges us. And well, let's hope in some ways that we don't get another opportunity in our life like this that pushes us as hard as this in this way. But how many opportunities do you have in life where you can be like, there's this really brick wall right in front of you and you got the chance to go through it. Now you can just walk away and say, nah, it's just too thick. Or you can say, you know what, I'm going through that wall no matter what, or over it, under it, whatever. I just think that's a beautiful gift that was there. And yes, that I know that's people listening might be saying, but I lost my father or relatives or whatever. And that's certainly horrible. And I'm putting that part aside, but from the mindset perspective and what the opportunities have provided, I think it's been a real gift.
Absolutely. It's been such an incredible gift. And my mindset is always, any time I encounter a challenge or, a wall in front of me, like you described before, like I'm always now of this mindset where life is always happening for me and never to me. And so no matter the difficulty or the challenge, like I always try to find a lesson and how I can grow from it. And that's literally been possible, through my partnership with, our company, and really that's really helped me with my mindset. So that's definitely been an incredible way of thinking that has helped me through many of the obstacles in my life. Yeah,
fantastic. So on this show, Thomas, I like to interview people that are highly successful, hence why you're on the show here. And you've been successful in a number of different areas. I want to firstly talk about the ISABody Global Win. And I then want to reverse engineer it so people can understand how to go from where you were, because people can say, oh, wow, look at what you've done. But like any great movie, any great story, no one's ever just come out and gone, bang, okay, I've gone from great to now awesome. There's always a backstory that people have been, like broke or in such poor health and whatever, and now you've gone to where you are now. So I want to explore that. But first of all, I want to ask you about that global win. Now you're standing on stage and they announce your name. So for people's perspective, you have to qualify to be a finalist first. Then you go against, it's about 15 people in Australia and New Zealand.
12. Yeah,
12, okay.
Australia.
And then out of the 12, you are then chosen or not to represent Australia to go to the world stage, which is in the US. And then is that out of a dozen as well, or?
We had 13 there. Yeah, 13 global. Okay. 13, grand prize winners.
Yeah, okay. And then a global person is chosen. So you're standing there, they're about to announce it. They announce your name. Just tell us what that feeling was like.
Oh my gosh. It's almost like I forget walking on stage, because you're just thinking, your mind just wanders, and there's like, I don't know, 10,000 people in front of you, and, the owners of the company who I admire so much. And so I just lost it for a few seconds. And then I just remember, Kathy Kuvan answered my name, and it was just like, pure joy and pure gratitude and tears coming out of my eyes, because it just took me back to, when I was working on myself and when I was working on my body, and just knowing that I believed in myself, and that was just like amazing. Like I'm still grateful. I still get goosebumps when I think about it.
Yeah. Tell me, did you give yourself a chance when you were there?
Yeah,
obviously absolutely. You're on the stage, so you've got a chance. But how were you feeling?
I was feeling very confident. So I'm very big on visualization and manifestation. So I had already envisioned that moment for the past 3 months, every single day. Every single day I was preparing my speech, my winning speech. So, in a very humble way, I had already seen myself, achieving what I achieved. And it was just beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. I want to come back to that visualization in some of my questions. So now I want to go back right to the beginning of your health and fitness journey. So I know obviously a bit about it, but do you want to tell us, like, go back to that start before you started, like being introduced to maybe the Isagenix products and, that change. You said that you used to work in hospitality. So maybe let's go back right to the very beginning and what started you to take some more action.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is, I guess, where, where it all happened. I used to manage this really big restaurant in Sydney, an iconic restaurant. I used to manage like close to 60 staff members. And I loved my job, just it. Maybe a few of you listening can, relate to how toxic the hospital world can be sometimes, late nights. And, everybody is not really interested in living a healthy lifestyle. Everybody's drinking, and that's what happened. So I literally got sucked into that lifestyle, and I just didn't really have any healthy habits. I was drinking. I was living on coffee for energy, just to maintain my energy levels. And coffee was free at the restaurant, so I would drink 6 or 7 in a day. Drink wine to wind down after the shift, go to bed, and I would literally have all the best intentions to put my alarm clock on and go to the gym in the morning, because I used to always be quite fit, through growing up. But I would just snooze, and then wake up at 11 or 12, shower, eat on the go to work, and that circle literally repeated itself for 2.5 years. And I got to the point where I was so embarrassed of the way that I let myself go. I remember, like, I didn't want to go to the beach because I didn't want to take my t-shirt off. And the moment that really got me into action was when I would look at myself in the mirror. And I could just see, how my body was not reflecting who I was inside. And, in brutal honesty, I was just disappointed, and I just didn't love myself anymore. So I was seeking for a change. I was seeking for more vibrance and just some more energy, really. And
so can I just stop you there for a second?
Yeah.
What sort of time frame was that when you started to realize that, you're not being who you want to be?
I was in that rut for probably around 6-7 months.
Yeah, because it's not an overnight thing. It's not something where you wake up one day and you say, oh no, I don't like that, I'll change tomorrow. It manifests over a long period.
Absolutely. And I had bad habits too. I would party on the weekends, and I would drink, and it just really took me to go in and feel that pain of embarrassing myself, or not respecting myself to the point where it just became too much. And then I was like, okay, I'm ready for a change now.
Yeah. So then what was that change?
That change. So a customer came in a restaurant one afternoon, and she introduced my best friend to Isagenix. She was my partner at the time. And because she also wanted a change. We used to work together, live the same lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I said no, because I used to use some other products which were very similar. So I didn't really believe in supplements. I had already done it. But my girlfriend at the time started before me, and I literally just witnessed her change. She would wake up early, got all this vibrance or this energy. So I started to try her products, and she was like, okay, Thomas, that's enough. Now you're gonna buy yourself a box. And so I bought myself a box, and I experienced, as well, a complete shift in my body. And that was when I was like, oh my God, this is what it feels like, feeling at 100%. So that was my beginning.
How quickly before you started to feel a change in yourself, do you think?
1 week.
Yeah.
I went through a severe stage of detox for like 4 days, where I was like, I had migraines. I was feeling tired and lethargic. Yeah. But then after that, I was like, boom, rocket ship.
Yeah. So then tell us a little bit so you've had your first box, and then I'm assuming at this stage you weren't thinking anything about ISABody challenge or anything like that. You were just like, how do I just feel a bit better and start to look a bit better?
Yeah. So look, I'll be completely honest with you. So I fell in love with the products, but I still had unhealthy habits. And so for 2 years, for 2 years, I literally just used the products to support my unhealthy lifestyle. Thank God I was using them. In those 2 years, I signed up to 2 ISABody challenges, but didn't complete them because I wasn't in the right mindset.
Yeah.
And then my girlfriend gave me an ultimatum, and she was like, Thomas, if you don't, change and become the man that I know you are, I'm just gonna find someone else. And so that was a really big wake-up call for me after 2 years. And that was when I was like, okay, this is it. This lifestyle isn't me anymore. And now I'm gonna literally just go and grow myself as a man, as a human being, as a person. And that's when I ditched everything. So I ditched the alcohol, I ditched the partying, I ditched, unhealthy friends, and I just really focused on myself. And that was when I signed up to my third ISABody challenge, because I saw the results. I saw people, you know, achieving phenomenal results. And I was like, if they can do it, I can do it too. And I just made the decision to go all in, and I never stopped since then.
Yeah, sweet. Now, when there's so many questions I could ask you about what you just said, but there's so much gold in everything that you just mentioned there. So at what point did you say, I'm going for, I don't know whether you were thinking global at that stage or whether you were just thinking, I want to make it as a finalist. At what stage did you like change your mindset? Because it wouldn't have just happened by accident. You would have gone for it, I'm assuming.
Yes. Yeah. So what I did was I made the decision, and I remember clearly what I love the most about the challenge is the accountability and the support. You know, well in the group, it's just awesome. So I posted my before picture in there. I had lots of people commenting, "You're gonna do it, you know, go for it." I felt so protected and welcomed and loved from the community. I was like, I'm gonna do it not just for me, but also for them now. And so what I did was I just stayed consistent for 1, 2, 3. For 4 challenges, I was really consistent. And then as I was in the group, obviously I saw people winning and people becoming finalists. And I was like, okay, this is actually a possibility. Like I saw a common denominator, and it was, we have this motto that's called start, complete, repeat. So in a challenge, you start, you complete, you repeat. And I saw that everybody that was like, you know, becoming a finalist were people that had done like at least 2 or 3 challenges that were consistent. And so I was like, okay, I've actually got a chance here. And so on my 5th challenge, I just made the decision to go all in. I was like, you know, what do I really want, Thomas? So I really focused on how I wanted to improve my body and transform my body. And I just made a commitment, and I hired a coach, an online coach, that really helped me with my nutrition and with my workouts. And I learned a lot about myself, and I just became, I guess, a machine at the gym, a machine at how I was eating. I was so focused. I remember that we even went to Disney World on a holiday, and by mistake, we rented out a resort that didn't have a gym. Okay. And so when I was at the reception, and I heard that, I was like, this is not possible. I got to work out every single morning, even though I was on holiday. And so we did a $700 upgrade to another resort just so I could use the gym. That's how committed I was to my goals. And then on the 5th challenge, to be honest, I wasn't expecting it. I was just working for it. I was just going to work one morning, and I received this call, and it was corporate. It was Susie. She was like, Thomas, hey, how are you? It's Susie from ISABody. I'm like, oh, hello, how you doing? She's like, really, really good, thank you. She's like, are you going to be coming to Celebrations this year? Celebrations is our annual event where they recognize finalists. And I said, yes, of course, I come every year. And she was like, well, Thomas, this year you're going to be coming as a finalist. And I was like, oh my God, it was the most amazing phone call ever.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So let's have a talk about the vision side of this, because I know one of the things for me this year, again, I went to Celebration and I was watching all the people on stage, and I thought, there's a possibility for me here. And I saw you, obviously, and I'd met you in Melbourne here maybe it was early 2019 or something for an event. Yeah. And my natural inclination was, you have to have massive weight loss to be able to have a chance in, winning something like this. And then obviously seeing you and then the other people on stage, I thought, that could be me. And so I at the start of 2020 said, okay, that's what I'm going for this year. And like you were talking about the vision, I envisaged myself holding the check above my head at Celebration with the soundtrack of Thunderstruck playing, the streamers going, the crowd going, like 5,000 people going crazy. And there I am, imagining what I look like, all tanned up and shaved down and all that kind of stuff. And every single time I step into the gym, and every single time it would get hard and it was burning and I didn't want to do that next rep, I would immediately take myself to that vision. And I know that you understand what I'm talking about, but I've done a few recordings on this because it's just so powerful to put yourself in that place. And you mentioned about, rehearsing your acceptance speech for the global winner. And I think back to, gee, where have I heard something like that before? Kerry and Natalie Cook, Olympic gold medalists, said that they did the same thing. So when they knew they were going to win the gold medal, when they stepped out on the court for the gold medal match, that they'd been practicing their, what they were going to say to the media, what they were going to, go through. So they'd already done it. So it's just so powerful, isn't it?
It's so powerful. I think it's everything. Like I am so big with visualization and manifestation, and I believe that as humans, it's so important to be defined by the vision of the future, and instead of memories of your past, and really seeing yourself doing what you want to do, feeling it, and our minds can't really tell what's real and what's not. And so when you're giving it that thought and that feeling every single day, subconsciously you've got no other choice but to believe it, and it's just and it just works, because when you see yourself doing something like that, you start acting as if you're already the person that has achieved that, and your mind believes it, and then you believe it subconsciously as well. It's very powerful, very, very powerful.
And I think people that are watching this now, like a lot of the listeners here are very successful entrepreneurs, but a lot of successful entrepreneurs aren't necessarily successful in their health and fitness. They don't thrive in that in the same way. And people can look at this and say, well, do you know what? I've got to lose 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 kilos to go from, the beginning to say something like you being a global winner of something. Like, that's a huge step. But from what I'm hearing from you as well, you didn't take a huge step. What you did was you did those little things, and it took you a while before you were ready to then say, okay, I've got to do this more consistently. And it's just doing those little things consistently. And you worked out, regularly. You were filling your body with the supplements, and just living a healthier lifestyle. And you also said about, if I put it this way, not hanging out with toxic friends, if you like, toxic people, and that just puts you in a much better headspace. So would you agree with that you didn't take massive steps, but you took a lot of consistent smaller steps to get where you were to where you are?
Absolutely. Yeah, look, I can narrow it down to 5 if you want, and I can just tell them real quickly now here. The first one obviously is really focusing on our physical body. And if there's lots of entrepreneurs listening to this, I'm sure they will understand that what's the point in being the smartest person in the room, or even the richest person in the room, if you don't actually have the health that can go and help you do the things that you want to do. But not so much the health. Like, when I think of health, I think of energy. And to me, a healthy person is a person that has energy. Like, I'm attracted to energetic people, high vibing people. And when you're giving your body those nutrients that your body really needs to work at its best, you're then obviously helping yourself being successful in lots of other areas. So, health was number 1. So really getting on those supplements. The second point for me was mindset. So, really focusing on improving my mindset, on having the awareness of what I was feeding my mind. So reading personal development books and listening to podcasts, really have an awareness that the thoughts that I was thinking then would become my reality. So, mindset was huge. And I'm grateful that in our company, we've got lots of mindset tools that can help us. The third part was limiting beliefs. So, really addressing my limiting beliefs and getting really clear with what they were, and then taking some small actions every single day that would scare me. They would put me out of my comfort zone. But as a result, then they would enable me to understand that those limiting beliefs were honestly just in my head, and I would eventually just crush them. And then, two more things was eliminating procrastination. So, really, so success loves action, right? Loves speed. And so really knowing what you wanted and taking action right away to go and achieve whatever success means to us, or meant to me at the time. And lastly, gratitude. So living in a space of absolute gratitude. So every morning I would, do my gratitudes, and every morning I would do my visualization. And those 5 things literally help me really become the person who has, who I'm now proud to be, I would say, yeah.
And I bet this is stuff that you do every day still to keep on growing to that next level.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. You said a really, again, some more powerful stuff there. The procrastination part. I've found that for me, it's the stories that we tell ourselves. And I had told myself, like working in the health and fitness industry, for 12 years full-time running my own business, but for 32 years looking after my own body and everything. And I look at my before shot and I look at that and say, I used to think I looked really good there. I wasn't overweight, but I would come up with a story as to why it wasn't possible for me to achieve that, that six pack or that, that more muscular look. I just made up stories that, because I'm raising two girls, my work schedule's so busy, I've got, X, Y, Z happening. So that's just where I am. But that was just a story that for 26 years, I really said to myself, it's not possible for me because of this. But I just decided to change the story. And like you say, the limiting beliefs, I just removed those and said, well, this is possible for me. And I think that this is what we are afraid to do. People are afraid to dream really big when it comes to, well, anything really, but certainly with I want people to dream bigger about their health and fitness. And one of my drivers this year was, so I'm 52 years old, and I thought, if I can be, and I've never been that guy that, like, I don't consider myself to be a model by any stretch. So to be that guy that is, doing a workout with their top off, like that's not me. I come from a different perspective, but I thought maybe I should be that guy, not necessarily to do the workouts, but if I can be in the best shape of my life at age 52, then who else can that inspire to make a change? Not just men.
Would inspire a lot of 20-year-olds.
Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah, and not just men, but women as well. And I think that was a big driving force for me too, because it's like giving back to others is a really big part of me as well. So really powerful stuff. Now, I wanted to talk about the elephant in the room. Okay, the elephant in the room being, we're talking about Isagenix, which is a network marketing company. And network marketing, that concept puts a lot of people off, like, oh, I don't want to go there. So I want to tell my story and then you can tell yours. So I'd been in business for 10 years, doing what I do, creating my own meal plans, doing all that kind of stuff. And the last thing that I would want to do is introduce my loyal clients, and then my family, to something that I don't believe in. So I put the products through my body first. And I normally do it for 6 months before, like if it was, I've tried a few protein powders and stuff. But after 3 weeks of doing it with this, I said, I have to let people know now. And that's when I started sharing straight away. People think network marketing, they think of bad experiences, they think pyramid, they think Ponzi schemes and all that kind of stuff. And I think if you remove those concepts, because Isagenix is not that, and I looked at it this way, who else is doing this? And so my biggest thing was, so Kerry Potthast, Olympic gold medalist, she introduced me to it. I was like, okay, well, she's got a lot to lose with her, who she is in the community, in the sporting community. Natalie Cook introduced her. Nat had been in it for 7 years. Kerry had been in it for 5 years. I was like, okay, that's good enough for me. If you've got 2 Olympic gold medalists that have put their reputation on it and they're putting it through their bodies, and then Shani, like current Olympian and gold medalist as well, she's using the products, then okay, this is good enough for me to put through my own body. And that's what I did. And people think, oh, well, you're just taking, artificial things and doing all that. I think the key here that I look at it is we're talking about supplements. Okay, we're not talking about these are the only things you put in your body. We're talking about supplementing your body. Now, the easiest way for me to explain this, over 32 years, you can imagine I've tried a lot of different protein powders. So I use the performance range. So I'm using the ISAPro. Their protein powder has increased my strength. It's the only thing I changed. Increased my strength, increased my energy, improved my satiety as well. And it helped improve my skin and all of that. And no other product's ever done that. So that's just one of the products. But I think when you put all of these together as a system, for me, it's been the most transformational impact it's had in my life. And it wasn't, and if it wasn't for Isagenix, I would not have a six-pack now. I just wouldn't, because the challenge provided the accountability, the community, like you said before. I reckon sometimes you just know when you're standing in the right room. And the culture of this company, like it's a $7 billion global entity, and it's still run by the family owners. And I think that to me just makes it really beautiful. And if once you're in the community, you see that you're just in the right place.
Absolutely. I literally second everything that you said. My mum had been in network marketing for 20 years. I was exposed growing up. So I was not opposed to network marketing. I just never really saw her having any success, and didn't really believe in the products that she was representing at the time. And I guess I was just ignorant. Like I was
Yes.
never financially educated to what was possible. I never really had a good financial education growing up. And so I had no idea about, the different cash flow quadrants, how you can make money, residual income versus passive income, no clue. I just thought that, you make money by going to work, you're going to work certain hours and you're going to earn certain money. And so that's what I believed. And so when I was exposed to the network marketing business model, and I'm very lucky because Isagenix was my first company, I just fell in love. And I fell in love with the potential, with the generosity. But most of all, I chose to align myself with Isagenix because, like you said, the Cougars.
Yeah.
The Cougars are just the people, and the Cougars are just the most incredible human beings who have deep, solid values, and you can really feel them. They've got the first one being integrity in how we share, integrity on the efficacy and the ingredients, and no compromise on the products.
Yeah.
And just this story, the story of like wanting to improve, world wellness. It just really gets me. Yeah.
And I think for anyone listening to this, if you'll get some of what we're saying here, but go jump onto YouTube and Google Kathy Cougar, and just have a listen to their story and their journey. It is really, really powerful. You should really feel it, I think, inside. Like, this is such a good global wellness company. Like I say, you just feel like you're in the right place. I wanted to talk about our last lot of questions just around business. So let's put the network marketing side aside. So for me, that's just a vehicle, and I want to talk about, like your work ethic and how you're building your business and so forth. So let's go from, so now Global Winner, how did that then take you to say, because I'm assuming it would have, to say, okay, I'm ready to explode my business? Because I know you've just gone to executive just recently, I believe. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So tell me what your thinking process was, how you've gone from, okay, where you were, global winner, now, okay, it's time to explode my business.
Yeah, so again, it really all happened because of COVID. And when I won global, I took home in total like $92,000 in cash. It was a huge amount of money. It really was. And that really enabled me to pay off credit cards. It enabled me to quit my full-time restaurant manager's job, and I was just really focusing on my business. And then what happened was that I said to myself, I don't want to go back to work anymore. I do not want to have a boss. I am just so happy, doing this, and I'm so happy building this business. One of my biggest values is freedom. And so I said to myself, let's go. And that's literally what I did. I modeled successful people. During COVID, every single morning, I would spend at least 1 hour reading and listening to a podcast from people that I really admire, who have had a success that I was seeking. And every single time I was walking, I was listening to a podcast, and I was looking for something that would make me have that light bulb moment, something that I would learn. And I would note it down, I would write it down, and then I would take action straight away. I decided to become a pro, and I just never stopped. And look, as you know, like, it's one of those businesses where you never stop learning. I'm still growing, I'm still learning, but I've found, what's going to help me achieve the life of my dreams. And it's just been amazing so far. It really has.
Yeah, really, really well done. Like, it's so nice watching you, and I wish I had have been in your position when I was your age. It took me, I was 40 before I decided to change professions from chartered accounting to do what I do now. And I'm grateful for everything that I did in the past, but I could have been so much further ahead. So you are absolutely in the right place. You're doing the right things. I think work ethic is just so important, isn't it? Do you reckon you work harder now than you did in the restaurant? Obviously, it's different work, but do you reckon you work harder now?
Yes, I work a lot harder now. I work with a lot more passion. It's taught me so much because, having your own business, like you're working so hard, but then it comes all back straight to you. So, I found myself some days working from, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., 11 p.m. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to go to bed. I don't want to. I want to keep talking to people. And it's just the most beautiful thing ever. And yeah, definitely working really hard. But what I love the most is that obviously in this business model, you do work a lot initially for, quite a bit of money, but then afterwards that just switches around and you have a lot more free time for less work. So when I understood the power of leverage and residual income, I was all in.
Yeah, I think you're I won't say it's luck, but you are lucky to have at this age realizing that you can make this on your own. You don't need to go and work for a job. Yes, you got to do all the right things every day. Otherwise, you just sit there and think, gosh, twiddling my thumbs. Nothing's happening. The phone's not ringing, but if you got to make it happen. And I love all the action that you're taking each day. I think everybody listening to this can take a lot away from your work ethic, and like people can obviously feel your enthusiasm and your passion for what you're doing. And I just love that. And so you mentioned before too, about surrounding yourself, or you're attracted to people that are energetic. And that's so true, isn't it? Like if anyone's ever been in a toxic relationship, or, the people that you just have a conversation and you're just like, oh man, I just feel so drained after that conversation because they're just complaining about absolutely everything. It's like people that complain about COVID, and it's like, oh, really? You're complaining about COVID? Why are you complaining about COVID? Oh, this is my cats decided to join the call.
So cute.
Yeah, and that's when you know, okay, it's time to leave the room from this person because they're just draining me.
Yeah, you either affect people or you infect people, right? So you can either affect them with your energy, or you can infect them. So, choose what you want to be doing, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I've got two more questions for you. Let's say, what would your advice to be to somebody that's just starting out on their journey for health and fitness, whether most of us think the physical transformation, but I think the inner transformation, that inner health is really important, starting with the mind and, going through to your blood and everything. They're just about to start. Maybe they've got 10, 15, 20 plus kilos to lose and they just feel immobilized. What would your advice to be to get somebody started?
Yeah, so my biggest advice would be to set some goals. Like I like to work in 30-day goals. So really, imagining myself where I want to be in 30 days, in 60 days, and then in 90 days. So having the big 90-day goal, but then also working backwards. So breaking it up in like monthly goals. I recommend that. I recommend visualizing where you want to be in those 3 months, taking consistent action every single day. Doesn't matter what it is, but at least, ensure that you're getting better at least 1% every day. So doing your workout, going for a walk, just doing that something that can take you closer to your goals. And understanding as well that if you're first starting, like you're gonna have some days where you don't wanna, do the workout, you don't wanna eat the healthy meal. And it's just part of the process. But when that happens, I think that what's really important is asking yourself the question, hello, will this, if a temptation occurs, if this temptation occurs, like asking yourself, will this take me further away or closer to my goal? Yeah. And then obviously just be real honest with your answer and then just taking action. What I also love the most and I recommend is having that person that can support you as accountability, a friend, a coach, a mentor who you just really share what your goals are. And then that person can help you stay accountable, because when you got that person that's like, doing a phone call with you every week and he wants to know how you're going, like you just feel inclined to like do your best just because you don't want to like disappoint them as well.
I've got two supplementary questions there. So with the goals, do you recommend people write them down?
Yeah, I would definitely write them down. I would write them down. I used to put post-its on my bathroom mirror on the door, so I would literally see them when I would wake up. I would see them when I would walk out of the house. And little tip here: if anybody has some days where they don't feel motivated to go to the gym, when you feel that, just go in the kitchen, have a scoop of pre-workout, so when it hits, you got no choice.
Yeah. That's I reckon that's one of the best supplements, the pre-workout. It's amazing. It's amazing. The other one that I was just going to comment on about the coaching or the support person. I think what's powerful is you get a coach that you pay for, because it's an extra commitment. Because if you do something for somebody for free, then they often don't appreciate it. But me being a coach of thousands of people in the past and current, I said, I've got to find a coach for me this year, because I want someone to support me. I could have got to where I got to, but I wanted somebody to hold me accountable, and somebody that's got, a lot more experience in putting someone on stage, like bodybuilding or something like that, because I've never been on stage like that. So I want to leave nothing to chance. So yeah, absolutely. You got a coach, I got a coach. If people think, why do I need a coach? Have a look at I like to get my clients and fitness family to the top 1% of health for their age. And if you have a look at who's in the top 1% of their sporting field, whether they be teams, we're about to move into tennis season here in Australia, like someone like Roger Federer, all the top players, they have multiple coaches, multiple.
Yes.
So if it's good enough for them to keep them at the top of their game, they know how to play tennis, but they still have a coach because they see the value in doing it.
Absolutely.
Final question, Whiskers. Is it really? Can you not seem busy? Final question. Just tell us, what's a typical day of food and exercise look like for you?
Yeah, really simple now, actually. So I will train in the morning fasted, so that I don't have anything to eat. Like I will probably have like a black coffee just if I really want that extra kick, or my pre-workout, of course. But I tend to just go fasted. I will train for 45 minutes, whether it's weight training, whether it's Pilates, Reformer, Athletic now, whether it's a intense cardio exercise. And then throughout my day, I have 3 meals. So I have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I also have 3 shakes. So there's a snacks for me. So mid-morning, mid-afternoon, and before bed. Okay. And I will also have my post-workout straight after I work out. So my ISAPro with my vitamins, and I don't drink alcohol anymore. I've been sober for quite a while, and a lot of e-shots. I probably have 1 to 2 a day.
Yeah. Okay. So for those listening, an e-shot's an energy shot. Now, all these supplements, they're all natural. So that's also really cool. I put them through my body, they feel fantastic. Hey, Thomas, that is awesome. I want to be really just conscious and grateful for the time that you spent with us today. You have been such an inspiration to me this year without even knowing it. You inspired me to really take my own body to the next level this year. Honored to have you on the call today. You provided so much value here. I'll have to get you back on maybe in the new year, and we can talk about some setting people up for success for the year. But so proud of everything you've been able to achieve for yourself, your global win, as well as how you're growing your business. It's just it's a privilege to watch you and just be part of the same business that you're running up there in Sydney. So well done on everything that you're doing, and thanks so much for today.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, and congrats to you as well for making that decision and becoming the best version of yourself now. Like, you really are killing it. So you're going to be a big source of inspiration for many, many people as well. So congratulations.
Thanks, Thomas.
No worries.